Welcome back. A massive construction project just broke ground in Blaine. It's a $170 million overhaul of Highway 65 to alleviate severe congestion and reduce accidents in that very busy stretch there. Gordon Severson has details on what drivers can expect.
Driving on Highway 65 in Blaine is no walk in the park.
It's stop and go from light to light.
And for many at the dog park down the street, they have a lot to bark about when it comes to traffic.
And a lot of times it's just sitting, you're watching the light.
For decades, locals and elected leaders have talked about rebuilding the highway to speed up traffic.
Thank you for coming today.
The only problem was finding a way to pay for it.
Today is a very good day.
Pretty much every level of government is chipping in to cover the $170 million price tag. The city, county, state, and federal government all had to buy in.
We're going to bring it from the paper to the pavement. Really nice alliteration. Super cool.
And now, with a few shovels of dirt, the project is officially underway.
There's definitely a need here to improve the roadway.
Kent Barnard with MnDOT says the project will remove 4 stoplights on Highway 65 so traffic can move faster.
It is going to be a substantial time savings for people on the roadway.
Public safety leaders say the project will also reduce the number of accidents and should shorten their emergency response times. But like many construction projects, there will be some growing pains.
The pain is going to be unbelievable.
The next 5 years will be no walk in the dog park, but to see traffic finally unleashed will be well worth the wait.
It's the couple years that's going to be tough, but yes, once it's done, it'll be great.
The good news is this summer it's going to be a lot of prep work on the side streets, getting things ready. So you're not going to see a lot of traffic impact this summer. The bad news is next summer and all the way through 2030, you're going to see a lot of lane closures and a lot of slow traffic here on Highway 65. Gordon Severson, KARE 11 News.
Thank you, Gordon. A fraud suspect who jumped last week from a 4-story balcony to escape federal agents is now asking a judge to release him. It's a case first exposed in a KARE 11 investigation. A.J. Legault was at the federal courthouse with the latest in his housing hustle investigation.
What happened inside the courtroom reveals federal prosecutors view Mohammed Omar as both a serious fraud suspect and flight risk. The judge agreed.
He was a man on the run, or the hobble, after what federal authorities called a desperate escape to avoid arrest in a multi-million-dollar fraud case.
Having jumped out of a 4th-story balcony.
That man, Mohammed Omar, then hopped his way on a broken leg through a garage to his luxury ride and drove away. Omar was wanted because he'd been indicted by a grand jury of stealing more than $3 million from Minnesota's Housing Stabilization Services program. One cited example, that he billed 92 hours claiming to help a client find housing, a client who was already dead. The charges come in the wake of a KARE 11 investigation.
Hi, my name's A.J. Legault. I'm from KARE 11. Is Mohammed Omar here?
No.
In the spring of 2025, our investigation tied Omar and his business, North Home Healthcare, to a broader network of companies allegedly working together to bill Medicaid by forging client records.
I did not sign this legal document.
All right, please have Mr. Omar call us. I'm leaving my card. We have serious questions about why clients are having their names forged onto legal documents.
Unwinding the tangled web of interconnected businesses billing taxpayers millions for housing help that clients said was never provided led us to a BMW driving businessman named Assad Adow.
What's your connection to North Home?
They're just a consulting agency that we partner with.
Are they related to you?
No.
That was not true. The two men are actually cousins. Assad and his brother Anwar, who also owned a bogus company, have since had their Blaine home raided and both pleaded guilty to federal fraud charges. The FBI was staking out their Blaine house after Omar's escape and spotted the getaway car pull up, and Omar helped into the home by one of his cousins, who is out free awaiting sentencing. The FBI says the cousin, Anwar Adow, then came out and drove the Audi away to hide it. Omar was taken into custody there in Blaine and held in the Sherburne County Jail. In his detention hearing, prosecutors presented evidence that starting in May of 2025, as KARE 11 was exposing the widespread housing stabilization fraud, Omar began wiring large sums of cash to Kenya to purchase property. They also accused him of lying about his passport being expired. Omar's attorney asked for him to be released, pending trial, labeling the fourth-story jump a moment of panic, not a flight from justice. The judge did not buy it.
Magistrate Judge Bullard ordered that Mohammed Omar be held by the U.S. Marshals in custody pending his trial. At the federal courthouse in downtown Minneapolis, for KARE 11 Investigates, I'm A.J. Legault. What happened?
If you have something you'd like our I-Team to look into, you can send us an email at investigations@kare11.com. Again, it's investigations@kare11.com. Stick with us, more news and weather coming up after the break.